podcast is powered by Audio House Dublin.
So I guess welcome to Sold Out episode 40, which is crazy. Joined by the team here at Anomaly.
What's the crack?
Everybody, if you want to introduce yourselves there, just so audio listeners know who's talking when.
I'm Alex Gough. Nice to meet you.
Who's going next?
Go on.
It's Gough and Evan Miles.
And I'm Fionn Murphy.
Yeah, so obviously you guys have been running Anomaly for just over a year, isn't it?
Yeah.
Over a year.
So I guess just the cliche question of like, where did it all start?
It kind of started because there was a group of us that were seeing like a load of talent around Waterford, both musically and artistically, and the nightlife in Waterford was not fantastic. And we wanted to change that, so we decided to do a night in an art gallery. We didn't really have a clue what we were doing, but it somehow came together at the end, and so then we decided to keep going with it and see how far we could take it. And since then, we've gotten so many artists on board, and it's a good platform for them as well, because like for them to try and get an art space like a gallery to show off their art is like next to impossible, because you have to be a known artist to get into a gallery. So they're all thankful of the opportunity as well. But like we need to stress that Anomaly wouldn't be what it is without the art. Like the art is as much
Absolutely,
as it is about the music.
It's kind of funny.
Go on.
I remember like back, it was like September about a year ago, and just being added into a group chat on WhatsApp. it was like Waterford night. I was like, are we all going out or what's going on?
I didn't know Alex. I knew Miles.
Yeah.
I didn't know Luke Halley. I was friends with Paddy and Rob.
I knew Johnny. I knew Miles from school. Like,
I
Miles,
think I was like, I don't want to be like I was the one like saying Alex or whatever, like, or like I knew like all of you in a way.
Yeah.
So
You were like the bridge to
obviously
bridge.
we'd all like talked about it individually before. Like I remember talking to Murph about it before and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But as much as it is like giving the visual artists a platform, I definitely feel like it's given like self-analysis included, like the musicians like loads of like time and space to actually work on stuff, because like it's so hard to like, especially being like, well, even myself, like working mostly in electronic music, it's hard enough to get gigs, like, do you know what I mean? And then if you're not a band really in Waterford, there's not much, people don't really have much, well, when I say people, I mean like event bookers and stuff like that, they mightn't have much time for you because it could be some sort of a risk, like, do you know what I mean? Obviously that's changing now, but
absolutely, yeah.
You know, it just makes a lot of sense, because I suppose like up here, when there is a scene, like at least you could have a few hip hop artists or a few electronic artists on a bill. I guess down there you might be a little bit more spread out, which is sick to see it. You know, you taking it into your own hands and going, no, there is an audience for this. And
It's funny because I was actually part of like the whole, and still kind of am, like the whole band scene, like playing drums with different bands and stuff. So I was kind of
on the Nilo gig, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that was good fun. It was mad. Weird first. It was a big first gig, but it went really well. So I was delighted. But yeah, then in Waterford, like it was very like I was kind of in that band scene, so I was seeing like, and that was kind of blown up like before all the Anomaly stuff started, and like so that was kind of going really well. And then out of nowhere, that just stopped getting any like progressing at all, and it slowly just got worse and worse. And then I kind of like went into Anomaly. Like I'd never DJ'd before, and I was producing, but I'd never DJ'd. Like at a gig, like I knew how to DJ, obviously in my bedroom or whatever. But I was like, yeah, like let's give it a shot. And like the first one was just like more than we could have imagined. Like we just kind of like threw all our ideas at it.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of stuck. Like it was kind of, we expected and didn't expect it to be kind of a new big thing. But like the reaction was just a bit crazy. Like the place only could hold 60 and we had like 120 people or something. Like it was
ridiculous. Like
And that's the one thing I have to stress. Like the Waterford crowd has been too good to us. Like they're
so fucking,
it's mad.
They always bring so much energy.
Yeah.
Like even the amount coming up to this gig, I think it's actually like judging by Twitter and stuff, it's mental. Like there's so many people from Waterford actually making the journey. Even Cork as well. Like, you know.
Yeah, a few of my friends are actually coming on the bus up from Waterford, so it's nice.
It's pretty sweet. Like
that's good to hear. So like, what was that first gig like? Like, did you have any experience organizing any events before, or you know?
Well, no, I had done a small bit of events organizing for like an arts festival.
Yeah.
But apart from that, no. We were going in blind, and like we went into the venue early on in the day, and we had a stage design. So we built a stage out of pallets, and
That was
then
class. That was so
it looked
cool.
amazing, and we were so happy. We were like, "This is great!" And we were like half an hour till doors open. Everything was done. We were all chilled out, and then the owner of the venue comes down, and they were like, "Oh, this is a health and safety hazard. You're gonna have to take this up." So we had to unscrew it all, take it all out, and then I was like so stressed. And me and Rob went outside, and I had Rolly, and I looked, and there was like this clear box. And Rob just saw it, and he was like, "Oh, just throw that on, just throw light under it," and it ended up looking cooler almost than the first idea. So it all just kind of fit into place, and it kind of came together. Like we had a few issues on the first night, and we learned a lot from the first night.
Definitely.
Like bathrooms, we had 2 bathrooms, and you can't. Yeah, like one of them was gone
People were
after a
so,
while.
Like, man, it's ridiculous. Like to go out to the smoking area is literally like it was kind of like the smoking area was just like an alley, kind of like really thin, like, do you know what I mean? So people were just like, with obviously as we were saying, like Aussie was only like 6, but we had like 100 and something people there.
Silly.
So we're just like absolutely trying. Well, like they were trying to get out to the smoking area, but then I'd say just got fed up, and we're just like, yeah, okay.
I was trying to get people smoking inside, like just get them out. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
I don't want to say we were lucky. It was like planned luck. Like we knew what everything that we wanted to do and how we wanted it to look.
Yeah.
We were kind of prepared and had it all thought out, and like everything just kind of fell into place in the right time, I suppose.
Yeah, I feel like it's different than like a lot. Like obviously there would have been a lot of like other like fellas joined together and doing like a techno night or whatever. Like, do you know what I mean? But I feel like it was a lot different to that because it's kind of, I don't know, it's a much different feel. Like it's not just you're going in, you're listening to a load of heavy techno for 4 hours and that's it. Go home. Like, do you know what I mean? It was much more to it than that.
Yeah, I was
It
going
was
to
more intimate, like
Yeah,
the
definitely.
whole kind of branding that you're pushing, especially with the visual aspect as well, just gives it this like instantly much more of a community feel, much
Absolutely.
more longevity as an event. Because once you put it on once, I guess it was always kind of have a second one. Then once you saw the success of it for the first time,
Yeah.
Even
Definitely,
like
So it's just
In the
continuing to build this platform to give back to them.
yeah, even in the first year, like I don't know, like we tried to. A lot of people do know, but the first, I want to say, 5 events up until the Anomaly growth, they all actually like followed a story. So like there was like an actual like narrative that like why we ended up in these places, and like there was themes to each one. And like so like the first one was like the first one
First
didn't
one's
have a
Winter
narrative.
Solstice.
Yeah, and then the second one was in space, so we like had a narrative of how we got to space. And then the next one was in a forest, so we had like a crash
landing. Yeah.
There was all like stories written to them, like on our Facebook and that. Like we always wanted to get an artist in and actually do a comic.
Yeah, that'd be sick. Like,
And that's still, if anyone that does art is listening, we'd love to. We'd love to do a comic.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, because I like to focus on like a lot of this interior decoration was done by me and Paddy Hennessy from Happy Alone. But so we tried to really focus on like why we were in a forest and why there was trees everywhere and why was there planets on the wall and stuff. So that kind of like, we really put time and effort into making a narrative, which I'm not aware, but I don't think many other events really take care to do.
But even like when, I'm not sure which one it was. It was maybe the second one, I think. Yeah, in the Riverside Cottage. Like, I think that was the space themed one. Like, how people were wearing like spacesuits and everything.
Yeah, spacesuits, and one of them had a helmet on. Like, it was gas. Like, we really went for it. It was gas.
And like, did you have any experience in terms of as well, like booking artists and stuff like that, or like how did all of that come about? Like, were you friends with anyone?
I suppose all of us had like different connections, and we just kind of pulled together the resources. Yeah. So like, let's say like Alex or Happy Alone would have known an artist, and we would have reached out to him on Twitter or whatever. Like the first acts we booked in would have been it would have been Nonsus and Pat, Awkward Z. It was that one, yeah.
It was a family affair up until then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's crazy. And like, was there anything that like inspired you? Because it's not. I could see this growing into like a mainstream festival in a way. We have festival plans. Yeah. It's unlike it's refreshingly unlike anything else that's already there. So was there anything that kind of inspired it at all? Like,
I don't know. I think it was just the fact that like all of us had a different take on what it should be, and then we kind of just came together and agreed on a middle ground that
Well, I
we're
think
all
it
happy
was-
with.
Yeah, I think it was also as well just pure out of like frustration on like how like typical and bad the nights out were. They were just like the exact same thing. It was just like, right, we need to be something completely different. Do you know what I mean? Because it's just like, I suppose it comes down to like, why would people go to Anomaly over some DJ? Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because the DJs are bringing in big names. Like the clubs
Yeah.
in Waterford do bring in fantastic acts if you're into
Yeah.
techno. And like for us to do that hip hop gig, we weren't really sure how it was going to go at all.
Yeah.
We knew there was like a niche for hip hop in Waterford, but we weren't sure how big it was.
Gig. There was never. I don't ever remember going to a hip hop gig in Waterford unless it was in like
Down the key or something in the bandstand. Like,
There was probably like
bandstand
gigs in
something
Central
happened.
Arts, yeah. But
Yeah,
apart from
but-
that, there hadn't been a. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and I think it didn't feel like a risk because it was there's so much like
It was-
hip hop.
yeah, it was weird though because like, obviously like all of us involved in Anomaly, like we'd be all into hip hop and we'd be so like we'd know everything about it, but it's just like it kind of felt like we knew it was going to be fine, but then like with the fans and people fans, I don't want to say fans, like, you know, like people turning up, like we didn't like know if they'd feel the exact same as us, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but then like the energy that night was ridiculous. Like
Ah.
towards the end, the
Like-
mosh pits, I was actually getting worried because I was looking at the amount of glass on the floor and I was looking at like girls after taking off their high heels. And I remember there was one girl
There
posted a
was-
picture of
yeah,
like her high heel.
and it was just like the sole of her foot, and it was just like blood all over. It was like,
Ah.
I don't know what his caption is, like Pants Anomaly or something like
She
that.
was fine.
Yeah,
Don't
she
worry.
was fine,
We're
yeah.
we're covered. She's absolutely fine.
That always like it ain't a mosh pit unless there's an injury or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, you're racing on that level, you know.
Mm.
Definitely.
But I mean, like, I guess when in the beginning, was it always because you're talking a lot about hip hop, but obviously there's a lot of like electronic artists on it as well. Like you've had Marcus Woods, like the other people on it. Like, so, are you ever thinking of expanding into other genres, or is it like just hip hop and electronic?
I don't know. It's like I suppose I'd be the one in the group mostly that'd be electronic because like I produce like I don't want to say techno, but like house music and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? The only I liked it, but the only thing is, it's just like how do we not become another one of these nights that just book in a big DJ? Like, do you know what I mean? I suppose the hardest thing trying to stay away from being that.
Yeah.
And I also feel like the
they
hip hop audience is kind of more accepting in a way. I think like. I feel like to get an audience for the techno crowd, you do kind of have to book in a good act because there's so many of them being booked in. With hip hop, no one else in Waterford is booking in hip hop. I mean, Factory have started and they've had like the game was. I know he cancelled, but he was supposed to be down. And they have Russ tomorrow night, I think, or tonight.
No way.
yeah.
So they're actually trying to like bring in some hip hop, which is good to see.
I mean, we're all kind of aware about how big the Irish hip hop scene is after getting in like the last even 6 months. Like, and I think like it's nice to be able to kind of be part of that scene while it's flourishing. I don't think we're like close to ever doing any other music, but I mean, hip hop is what we love and what is kind of like relevant. I don't want to say we just do what's relevant, but it is relevant at the time, at like right now, and it's also like something we're interested in. So it's just kind of seems to be where we're at the moment. So.
And we always had hip hop involved a little bit, like so we'd always do even if we were doing techno, the start of the night would be hip hop, then it progressed into house, and then it progressed into techno. So we're always giving people a little bit of hip hop, even if it was earlier on in the night. But we always wanted that to be a part of it.
Yeah, I guess like Anomaly could be almost like you following like the culture as you see it, you know, and that's you know, like a trend, I guess, amongst like everything, even ourselves, and you know, everything that's popping up. Like there's these little networks now growing of like just talent that you know, it's almost blurring the lines between hip hop and a lot of other things. Like,
and that's really nice. I've never, even as an artist, like I've never put a label on myself.
Exactly.
Like I've never I started out when learning to produce. I produced like house techno and stuff. but I never was like, oh, I'm a techno DJ or whatever.
Yeah.
And like even now, like with the tunes I'm making at the moment, like they could be hip hop, but they're not even like that like trap or anything like that. Like
Yeah.
So I've never really believed myself in like putting a label on anything. So I suppose Anomaly's kind of reflective of what we want to do at the time and what's going on.
We want to be fluid.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I mean, like, just when it sprung to my head, I think the first time I heard about you guys was Nonza's telling me about you. I think he played obviously the first or second event.
Yeah.
And he told me about, and like he's a perfect example of someone that just blurs the line between.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
I remember him texting me actually because we were talking or whatever, and he DM'd me on Twitter. I was talking about like people if they wanted me to record drums or whatever, and he messaged me. He was like, "Oh man, I'd love to get you to record drums to do like some sort of like punk kind of stuff." And I was just like, "This is just fantastic!" Like exactly, like perfect example of that. Like he's great. Like he's so good.
Yeah, that's seriously sick. So like, how long have you guys, I guess, been like following like the whole Irish music thing? Like, where like, do you have a first memory of like finding this whole community or anything? Or?
My first memory of like Irish hip hop was Costello,
Mm.
and he released a song. It was like a double-sided on SoundCloud, and he's like rapping in like 6/8 at the start of it. And I remember hearing that and being like, "Oh my god, he's rapping in 6/8." And like I think that was the first kind of Irish artist I like really listened to. Like that wasn't like a huge like in like radio stations and that. And it kind of started there. Like just kept kind of getting into it. And even Sam Ojo as well. He is one Raw. That song Raw. It's not even on. I don't know if it's on Hitting anymore. But his flow in that is just ridiculous. So that was kind of like where I started to get into it. But
Seventh Obie was mine. I was in school with Seventh Obie. So yeah, when he started releasing stuff on SoundCloud back in the day, we were all bumping that. And then Sam upload those. There's some really good on like those old songs that he doesn't have up anymore. Like, oh man,
Tropicana, what a banger!
Yeah, fact. I think then for myself, it was kind of like Maverick Sabre and stuff like that, and say like Sammy Dozens from Shmore. Like they were kind of boom bap and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. And even like, yeah, I suppose it was kind of just like listening to them and seeing like how they could take off and do a thing. It was kind of sick. Like, you know what I mean? Like even Maverick Sabre's from New Ross. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And he's doing so well. He's like, I saw him on Friday in Cypress Avenue. It was the first show on his tour, and unreal performance. And like that new album is sick as well. So
yeah,
I remember seeing him at Day Tripper.
Yeah, I remember that too. Yeah,
it was mad. Like he had. I can't remember the name of the song now. I know it to hear, but he had like his big song out, and he came back to play Day Tripper, and he was class at that as well. But nobody gave him the credit he deserved.
Yeah.
I need.
Yeah.
I need. That's
Fact. Yeah, but it was weird. It was like, what was I gonna say? It's kind of like he was like there was no one else like as big as him at the time though. It's really weird. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he had to like there was no one else for him. Like now, say for example, there's everyone is in kind of on the same boat and they can all like go off each other and like ask for help and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? But at his time, there was just like it was just him. Well, not just him. Like, do you know what I mean? But there wasn't anyone like on his level. So it was kind of like shit. Where does he here? Like he'd have to go away to get big.
It was also much harder to like come out in the scene at that stage. Like I think like the new artists coming out now, like obviously they're all kind of like of the same age or whatever, but I think we kind of underestimate how hard it was to do anything 5 years ago.
Yeah, big time.
Definitely.
Like to even like release a song, like I didn't know you could put songs on Spotify like 3 years ago. Like I was uploading to SoundCloud, but even the whole playlisting thing is like ridiculous for like helping artists, like because anyone can submit, and if you're good enough, then you get it. But, like, it used to be so much harder to even do anything, like even play a gig, like
literally, like.
And like I just feel like obviously social media has a big part to play. Like it comes into, I mean, maybe like yourselves, like when I first discovered say like a Fynch or something, and then I learned like, all right, there's Burner Records, and now there's Arabu, now there's Sick Nanley, now you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Keeps growing, and then from there you're like, oh, maybe this guy has a track with this guy, and suddenly the whole Spotify is Irish artists, and I'm like, I didn't even really mean this in a way.
Everyone kind of leads into each other. Everyone's connected in some sort of way.
That's one reason I think Twitter is great. Like it has like connected the scene a bit, like, because like Facebook is, I don't know, I don't
Facebook's
like
dead,
Facebook.
man. It's just,
Yeah,
I actually just hate going on Facebook.
yeah.
Like, see a few funny videos and stuff, but like, God, like,
But I mean, I think it'd be interesting if Instagram steals like the events out
That's
from Facebook.
yeah,
Yeah.
that
definitely.
could be.
Like,
that's the
they're
one
all
thing it's
same
missing.
People, like, yeah,
Yeah,
Like the only thing I still use Facebook for are like the groups. Obviously, the groups are good too.
yeah,
yeah.
But
That's a brilliant way to network.
yeah, but I feel like maybe like I still prefer Twitter. Like if
Yeah.
I've just
Definitely, yeah.
don't use it though. Like it's not a very like, not
Yeah,
very- for some reason.
yeah, definitely. It's kind of like it's really good for like stuff like us, but I feel like if you're doing not anything else, but like if you
Doing
don't
anything
know.
else at all.
Yeah,
Anything.
don't use Twitter.
yeah, don't use Twitter. Stay off Twitter. Like, yeah, but I mean, like, it's nice to have such a little community there. But if you're doing something like off the wall, it's not even off the wall, but like, say if you're in a band, like, I don't know, would there be much of a like band?
I'm sure there is.
Like,
It's probably a smaller niche, but yeah, I
Yeah.
get what you're
There's
saying.
there's weird like circles on Twitter.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
especially like the Irish hip hop thing. There's like, well, and that circle's like grown, but like you'd like go onto one person's account and all of a sudden you're in like a circle of like maybe like filmmakers, or there's like a circle of like
yeah,
punk bands, and like
yeah,
if you're in those circles, it's so nice to be able to like promote yourself and like
yes,
promote you. But if you're not finding those circles like amongst Twitter, they're like, it's like very hard to like get any reach, but like they really, really work for promo and stuff. So it's
yeah. And it's great that like I think the whole scene supports each other.
absolutely.
Like everyone, I feel like to an extent, but no, I feel like everyone's trying to achieve the same goal here. So
Literally.
everyone's on the same page.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like it's like even going back to the Twitter thing, it's like really under like there's a lot of value there that isn't being tapped into overall. That not even just for the sake of like getting into network, but just seeing someone like responding to tweets or commenting on things or sharing things, just even just seeing their name pop about in your mentions is useful. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Absolutely.
yeah. Like, even when I was tweeting, like, oh man, like when I was tweeting like Austin Darbo and stuff like that about that electronic Spotify playlist and stuff, I was just like, yeah, he's just never gonna see this. And then next, like, I was just like, why isn't there electronic playlist for Irish artists like there is New Era and stuff like that? And then next thing, I just see my mentions, just like Austin replied to, and I was like, oh crap, I have to back this up now. Like, you know what I mean?
And
But
it
it-
worked though.
Yeah, now there's a playlist. So
Shout out Miles. Miles single-handedly created this playlist.
Look,
that's
Um,
crazy. Like, and it's just the whole thing, even of like, you know, you don't ask if you don't get to, I suppose. So.
yeah, definitely. I just felt like there's so many, like, I don't know, there's just so many pros of having it, like, do you know what I mean? Like, it'll, like, there's so many dudes just throwing up like tunes on SoundCloud still, like, do you know what I mean? I find, like, I don't know what it's like for rapper. I don't think it's that bad for rappers anymore. I think everyone's just like left SoundCloud, but even for like DJs and stuff, people are just using SoundCloud so much just for like, I suppose for remixes and stuff like that. But like,
no, it does have a place. Like SoundCloud does have a place for remixes because you just can't get them cleared on Spotify.
yeah, well, yeah, obviously.
I
But, like,
guys, if like I don't know even how you go about curating the lineup specifically. I don't know if you took submissions, but I would nearly rather be sent like a YouTube link though, even over.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
You know.
over SoundCloud, like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, definitely. Oh, fuck that.
yeah. You want to you want to see how people perform live. And as far as like curating the lineups go, to be honest, it's what we want. It's what we
Like,
want
yeah,
to have
definitely.
there. Like if we were to go to a night that we were going to, what would we want?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was gonna say like, we haven't even kind of said the stacked lineup that you actually have for what will be tomorrow by the time this goes
Yeah,
Sweet.
yeah.
out, which is crazy. So obviously you've got Alex, just the fact that he's left.
Yeah, Alex, I'm sure he'll be back. I texted him just there. I'm sure he'll be back in a second.
But Leo Miyagi, he's really underrated.
Oh man, I love Leo.
Yeah,
He's
sick.
unreal.
Because I've only just gotten into him myself very recently, like in the last week or so. So it's sick to see him on there. And obviously Pat Lagoon, absolutely killing it in terms. Like I think he had probably like this one of the strongest years last year.
Yeah,
Definitely. Up, down.
blowing up. Like,
And I'm sure this year is again going to be a great year for him.
And then obviously Awkward Z, it's another great, like, just dropped the debut project as well.
Yeah, which is getting received really well. And I saw he's in the studio with Jafaris.
Yeah.
Sick.
Which is sick. Like, that's mad. Like,
yeah, great to see.
But like,
I was in preschool with Alex actually with Awkward Z.
Yeah, like his stage presence. I remember, like, at the fourth Anomaly, like the hip hop one, his stage presence is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, he's buzzing around.
And
it's like,
it was the first time he played. I think that was the first like live show he'd done like in ages.
Yeah, I'd say he did like a few open mics. Like, obviously,
Yeah, but
answer for him. I don't know.
he was
like,
amazing. I was wow.
Unreal. Like,
Yeah.
he just proper running around everywhere. Like, he's sick. Like,
Yeah, I'm looking forward to
Unreal.
that again.
yeah, that should be gas.
And then obviously, like, how did you just go about getting the Softboy DJs involved?
We just hit them up in an email. Like Paddy was at so Paddy's in Happy Alone, and he was at Other Voices, so he was talking to the lads at Other Voices. They kind of became friendly, and obviously we respect what they're doing. Like, fucking,
Yeah,
they're doing so well. And that Boiler MTV video the other day was really cool to see, to kind of see the behind the scenes a bit. So yeah, we just really wanted to have them on the bill. We want to have them there.
I think it was the thing as well. Like, it was just like, I think I seen they were doing something for like the R&B club, and it was like, or it might have been something else. And it was just like Softboy DJs, and I was just like, wait, what? Can we like try and get them?
Yeah.
It
And
was
then,
literally just, yeah, we're just like chance our arm, I'd say a small bit, like, and just be like, oh, we may as well try, like, and see. And then they were like, yeah, grand.
yeah. And who else do we have? We have obviously Fynch and
as
Sick
well.
Dan- yeah.
Burner Boys, who as well, I feel like I really appreciate the fact that they play a lot of gigs.
Yeah.
As a group, they're just, you always see Marcus Woods on a bill, you always see Finch
Yeah.
on a bill, always
Yeah.
see Sick Danny on a bill.
Even like individually, they're all just popping up everywhere. Like, Finch was playing at like Nilo the other night and everything. I think.
Yeah.
Like, it's just gas. Like,
like, yeah, they're definitely well worth seeing. And then obviously yourself. So
yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much, yeah. Big gas.
And Miles was a little surprised, maybe.
Yeah. Oh yeah, might have a little surprise, like a few special guests. But keep that much.
Soundhouse. So there's still tickets there, lads, isn't there?
There's still, well, actually, by the time this goes up, this goes up, I think we're going to be all out of tickets.
Yeah.
But we'll have some on the door. But it'll be a thing to get down early.
Alex is back.
Alex is back.
Goddamn technology.
But yeah, definitely get down early to get a ticket, because like the line's just stacked. Like,
we always open the doors earlier than we start the doors. So we're going to be opening doors at 6:30. So there's going to be a half an hour or so where you can kind of go around and look at the art without being distracted by acts and get a feel for the place. We've got some really, really cool visual artists involved. And it was great to see like that there was actually, because we weren't sure like how many were going to get on board, but it was great to see that they were open to get on board and helping out.
Yeah, definitely.
Is there any of the visual artists that you can kind of like shout out or anything? Or do you know
Miles has kind of been heading that up.
Yeah. Bobby Z, he's absolutely unreal. He's a photographer, load of work. He works with Y-Axis a lot, actually.
Perfect.
I actually like, he's one of my favorite. Like, I think he's ridiculous. Like, when I hit him up, I was just like, actually no, I think he just sent us an email, I think, and I was just like, I just PM'd him off my own again. I was like, yeah man, please, like,
His photos are unbelievable.
Yeah,
they're so good. And even his little edits and stuff are sick, unreal.
Yeah, really nice.
Well, there's this dude called Hidden Faces as well. He's I'm gonna end up being like, oh, he's unreal. She's unreal for everyone, but like, so talented. Like, dude, Hidden Faces is really good. There's Hannah Lee. She's in NCAD with Sophia. Sophia does like all photography as well, obviously, as well as Fionn, like, for our events. But like, she's sick.
Yeah, so cool. And we're also going to be bringing up some art from some of the people and collectives from Waterford. Yeah. So Felt Not Seen. Yeah, Felt Not Seen. They've been with us since the very start. They're a collective, and like, they're just like I know we're going to say everyone's so good, but like we have like Waterford is really lucky art wise, and with stuff like Waterford Walls going on every year, It's really been nourished there, and it's good to see. Quillan Hanson also, who's been doing Waterford Walls every year, and she's been on the Late Late Show. So we're gonna have some really, really cool pieces there on the night.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a few pieces as well on display. So
It's just Miles' head over and over and over again
that picture of
with different haircuts.
Yeah.
So what time's like the bill kind of running to? So doors will have 6, and then
We're going till 12 o'clock.
First act at 7, and then right on till 12.
Yeah.
Sick.
Back to back to back.
Yeah, it's literally just like, yeah, it's gonna be.
It was hard to fit everyone in because we got all these acts, and then we were like, okay, we actually have to fit them in.
Yeah.
And we've also got a spoken word artist from Waterford, Alana Daly Mulligan.
That'll be sick.
So that'll be cool.
Bit different as well.
It isn't easy to manage the even on the night, like the bill order and times and stuff like that. So
Yeah, I was just saying to the lads, I think walkie-talkies would be a great addition.
Yeah, great.
Because like every time it's like trying to spread yourself on the night, like you don't know who's where, and no one's gonna answer the phone because no one can hear the phone. So on the off chance something goes wrong, you're like, okay. Like the fire alarm went off in the fourth one. We're in like this basement, and we had like 350 people in there, and I was out in the smoking area, and I hear the fire alarm go, and I'm like, what? And I walk in, and I just can't see in front of me. The smoke machine had just been left on for like ages, and no one could see in front of him. The fire alarm was going off, and we were just like, oh my god.
It was like right in front of the crowd, so I reckon somebody like turned it on.
Yeah, I think so too.
And then like we like literally couldn't see him. You couldn't see your hands. Like Luke Halley was up DJing, and I was standing next to him, and I couldn't see him. Experience.
Yeah.
Nah, like that. It's seriously a sick event that you're putting together, lads. Like, how often have you been doing them? You've been doing them maybe like 4 or 5 months.
It's not regular.
It really depends on like when's a good time. Like we're trying to organize one in Cork, but like unfortunately, like between actually getting venues that are free and then also like between the college timetable and stuff, like people are just going into the exam season now, and I don't think there's a time that we could do it. We're possibly thinking maybe summer, because we'd love, like there's a load of people from Waterford living in Cork, and we seem to have a little bit of a Cork following anyway. So we do really want to go to Cork.
Even for us, like in the acts as well, it's kind of like we're all in college as well, so it's just like, oh shit, I have like 5 assignments due this week. I can't play, like, like even on
whatever it may be.
Yeah, literally, like even on Thursday morning, I have a presentation, like, do you know what I mean? And then I'm straight over to the, you know what I mean? So it's
No, I feel that 100%.
It's not ideal.
But yeah, I mean, are we skipping over anything? Like, am I leaving out anything?
No, I think we've covered everything for the event.
Come on Thursday.
Come on Thursday, yeah.
See it all.
Yeah.
See it all.
It's but I would stress on the getting in early because I don't want people to come down and be disappointed if we're full already.
Definitely, because like the venue's sick. Like it's just gonna be like small, sweaty, just unreal.
Yeah, it's gonna be an intimate. It's gonna be an intimate gig.
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
So yeah, no, I think that's everything for the gig.
Yeah, no, that's so sick, lads. So do you want to like shout out like the obviously Twitter is like Event Anomaly.
Yeah, it's Event Anomaly on pretty much everything. Yeah, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. And yeah, we have tickets available. Well, we won't have tickets available by the time this goes up. But yeah, just get down early.
Yeah. But yeah, and then obviously like your own Instagrams and stuff if you want to do.
Oh yeah, sweet. I think everything. Yeah, all my socials are just like the Evan Miles. So THE Evan Miles. The Evan Miles. Yeah, so that's that.
All mine are Alex Gough with 3 H's because the other one was taken.
Mine are all shite because so I'm not even gonna shout them out. I'll give them to you and we can put them in the description maybe. Yeah, sweet.
Subscribe.
And thanks a million for having us on as well. We've been trying to be on. We've been talking for so long about doing this.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I think it's literally been since August.
Yeah.
October. Sorry, October. I don't know why I said August.
Yeah. Oh man.
this always happens. Like people trying to like come on and like it's just so hard. Like you're saying with the actual event schedule, just things pop, college deadlines, and then
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Definitely not.
No, I really appreciate you guys coming on.
Thanks for having
thanks
us.
million for having us.
Sound man, Delhi.
Woo!
Yup.